Life and practice at Tri Duc Ni Monastery, the Nuns Branch, Vietnam. It's 3 in the morning at Tri Duc Ni Nunnery. Darkness seems to fade as the sound of the great bell floats along in the air. All is calm and peaceful. Clad in their discoloured robes, the nuns walk mindfully towards the meditation hall. It's time for another early morning meditation session. To the nuns, the most important thing is decidedly meditation. Most Venerable Thích Tu, the revered founder of Vietnam's very own Zen sect, Trúc once said, "An hour of meditation is an hour of being a Buddha. A minute of meditation, when the mind is clear of all afflictions, is a minute of being a Buddha, of being back to one's true nature." If a meditator could somehow carry forward this same insight, or prajna in another word, into his or her daily activities and practice, seeing everything that surrounds with this insight, it would be easy to clearly see the delusions embedded in the conditioning of one's personalities. As the Most Venerable taught on many occasions, the one and only one obligation of a monastic is to stay alert with awareness throughout the day in order to spot the quickly fleeting phenomena or dharmas of the vast open space of the mind. It has become a tradition for all the nuns at the monastery to sit and meditate all through the night on the full moon day of mid-autumn. In the Zen world, the moonlight is very often used as a metaphor for the light of wisdom in the inherent mind. With this light of wisdom, the meditators will not be lured into the dark abyss of the mind. So much will therefore be achieved to the benefits of the meditators themselves, as well as others. A balance between physical and spiritual energy is something worth working on. That is why, at the monastery, right after morning meditation session, the nuns gather to do a number of fitness exercises designed to boost blood flow and oxygen delivery. The result? The body becomes fresh and energetic, and now the nuns are totally ready for the day ahead of them. The sun has risen now above the horizon, casting its golden light on the palm-lined paths that branch off here and there in the monastery compound. Thanks to our nuns, the ground has now been swept clean and spotless. On any given day, one could easily come across several nuns handling the large dump wagon, their refreshing smiles brightening the day. All things ephemeral, let them be gone. The nuns embrace their monastic life, something that's simple yet very extraordinary at the same time. In the Zen world, gardening has long been incorporated to become part of the practice. Whether it's removing weeds, watering flowers, or pruning plants to beautify the monastery, all are chances for the nuns to learn to discard the self so as to work together in harmony. What's more, gardening puts the nuns in touch with nature, a relaxing and energizing experience that elevates both body and the mind. A bit more demanding than other works in the monastery is perhaps tending to the veggies garden. To have enough vegetables, and that too in a good number of varieties, the nuns grow many kinds of vegetables, taking great care of them as they go about their work. The fruit of their labour, leafy green veggies abound.
Một ngày không làm là một ngày không ăn, dẫn trâu ra đồng bữa làm bữa trăng. Theo chân người xưa quán gì gian khó, sống chết ta không màng miền đường là thăng, sống chết ta không màng miền đường là thăng. Một ngày không làm là một ngày không ăn, có đâu chỉ ngồi mới là tiền tăng. Châu đen giờ đây sẽ là châu trắng, chẳng phi đi kiếp người mới thần là thăng, chẳng phi đi kiếp người mới thần là thăng.
In order to provide enough food in the best way possible to the whole community, one nun is assigned to the task of food storage and inventory. She works closely with another nun, who takes charge of planning menus. Daily meals should be planned in such a way that the nuns stay fit and healthy. In the large kitchen of the monastery, one whole section is reserved for the nun in charge of providing nourishments and medicaments for all her Dharma sisters who are troubled by illness. Cooking is an art in itself. Sima Buddhi, the 24th Zen patriarch descending from Sakyamuni Buddha, taught the place in a temple where the food items are prepared as offerings to the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, is known as the kitchen of accumulated fragrance. Those who prepare the food and drink should understand the three virtues and distinguish amongst the 6 flavours while being able to keep his or her 3 karmas of body, speech and mind pure. The 3 virtues are purity, gentleness and acting in accordance with the rule. They should be blended in a harmony with the 6 flavours: plain, salty, spicy, sour, sweet and bitter. A cook should practice careful observation of dharmas in order to give rise to a mind that's free of illusion of self, of personality, of being, and of separated individuality. The 6 senses will then be quieted and purity will prevail. It is in this state of mind that the person preparing food offerings will accumulate immeasurable, boundless merits. Quietly taking upon themselves the harder tasks are the nuns who on a daily basis handle the large dump wagon, meticulously sorting out the waste. What seems to be very mediocre at first glance is in effect a great way to practice the path to eliminate the self and purify the mind. Formal monastic robes and all other clothings for the whole assembly are made by the nuns who are assigned to the monastery's in-house tailoring team. Fabrics of faded blue and dark brown are uniformly used as the nuns embrace simplicity in every aspect of their life, knowing well that beauty is as skin deep as it is ephemeral. As a result, attachment to the transitory body lessens, it hold with the passage of time. The nuns assigned to the maintenance team are always ready to be of service, so to speak. Thanks to the skillful nuns, all tools and equipment in the monastery are protected and taken care of in a very systematic manner. Once in a long while, there would be tasks that require all hands on deck. Digging dump pits, collecting wood for burning, carrying soil during construction, all are physically demanding. Nevertheless, the nuns engage themselves completely with much enthusiasm.
Dù gian khó ta hằng sống trong hào khí trong yên lành, dù vui sướng yêu thương nhắc mau dừng hướng lang thang này. Trời thành thoát đây nguồn sống, hương hạnh phúc luôn tràn đầy. Đời hoàng vắng ta lần nữa mang vầng sáng trao cho người. Thênh thang kia bao dung nhau, yêu thương đó không vội buồn. Như mây trôi không cao xa, không vương mắc trong lòng yên. Đây tâm hoa, hoa vô ưu, hoa tinh khiết, hoa vô cùng. Tìm vào đời, tìm hai hoa, vô vàn sống hay trời bay. Lời ca đó vang trùng khắp, yêu đời sống thương con người. Niềm thân thiết luôn nồng ấm, luôn hàn gắn thêm an lành. Lòng tươi sáng ta nhìn thấy trong từng phút giây tràn đầy. Cùng nhau đến bên giải thoát, xây cuộc sống vui thanh bình.
It is common knowledge that lunch is the main meal in a day for Buddhist practitioners. At Tri Duc Monastery, when the gong is sound 3 times, the nuns, clad in their former monastic attire, line up and proceed to the buffet hall. After filling their dining trays with as much as they need, they then quietly move to the dining hall, where they start by saying prayers to offer the meal to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, as well as all beings in all the Dharma realms. They then eat their meal in silence, keeping sharp observations of all phenomena to stay alert with awareness. To them, mealtime is definitely time to practice the path. In terms of education, the nuns are exposed to a vast collection of Buddhist teachings, which include scriptures and discourses. Buddhist history is also a part of the curriculum prescribed by the Choklam Zen sect. Meditation, or Zen, is the source of Buddha Dharmas. Buddha's minds are meditative minds. Scriptures originated from the Buddha's mind. Therefore, Zen and teaching are one.
Thức này chính là A La Gia thức, hay gọi là bàn thức, và nó là một cái chỗ để chứa những chủng tử đó.
In the Platform Sutra, the sixth Zen, Patriarch Huinyan said, communication by speech and communication by mind are like the sun in the sky. Zen and scriptures go hand in hand. Relying on scriptures, one realizes Zen. Practicing Zen, one comprehends scriptures. The two are as interrelated as they are inseparable. With that in mind, the nuns study scriptures not to accumulate knowledge, but to put what they learn to practice. By doing so, they wake the seeds of wisdom that lay dormant in the depths of their minds, signaling them to start growing. Every day at 6 p.m, the nuns gather in the grandeur of the Buddha Hall, where they chant offerings, their repentance for the 6 false senses. They then dedicate the merit so gained to the awakening of all sentient beings. Once every month, the Nun Sangha holds the Uposatha, which in effect is a very important day of observance for the cleansing of the defiled mind. On that day, the nuns solemnly gather, and after the monastic code is recited, each one of them will take in turns to confess any violations of the pure rules, at the same time appealing to the whole Sangha to point out any minor violations they might have made, to which they then offer their repentance. By so doing, the stains of negative karmas done with the body, speech and mind that obscure the mind are cleansed. The mind is completely purified and immense merit is accumulated. 2 years after their ordination, depending on the growth in their personal practice, the nuns would be given the opportunity to take a solitude retreat. For any practitioner, this is a great chance to further the development of their practice. There are rules to be adhered to during the retreat, and the nuns are reminded to practice rightly to deepen their experience of prajna. Once every month, the management of the monastery organizes a one-day retreat. On this day, lay Buddhist followers gather to experience firsthand the hardcore practice of meditation as a way to transform defilements of the mind, and by doing so, developing stronger karmatic connection to the 3 jewels. For everything to go smoothly on the day, all arrangements are carried out a day early. Meditation mats and cushions are all laid out. A temporary pathway for walking meditation is marked out with arrow boards. Dining dishes and trays are stacked up and placed orderly in their designated stations. Food ingredients are prepared depending on the particular menu planned for the day. All the arrangements are carried out by the nuns with the help of lay followers. When the day comes, lay followers attend formal Dharma talks, as well as informal exchange of various matters in light of the Buddha Dharmas. They also take part in repentance and meditation sessions. Ultimately, they all experience the calm and joy of practicing the Dharma. Among the lay followers attached to the monastery are a group of people who suffer from impairment of sight. The group have been with the monastery since its early days, and they are true devout Buddhists who are very keen to learn the Dharma. In the spirit of loving kindness, the monastery is always open to people who truly wish to find peace in their hearts and minds. Children are like the buds on branches, the hope and future of a nation. After taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, through the years, the children who come to the monastery cultivate the Dharma and abide by 5 precepts, or 5 principles of virtuous living. It is without a doubt that such children will grow up to be a credit to the society that they live in. Occasionally, on this special day, senior venerables who are board members of the Truk Lam Sen sect would visit the monastery to transmit the 5 lay precepts to people who wish to take the formal step of taking the refuge vow to become a Buddhist. In that way, the Dharma spreads to become a major force for positive social transformation. The wind keeps blowing, the clouds forever afloat. Under the sacred sky over the monastery, the seeds of awakening quietly grow, Zen spirit ever present in the breath of every living thing under the sun. Harboring in this dream-like body, wandering in the dream-like world, once the dream is over, seeing the truth, laughter shattering the dream, writing a few dream words, reminding the dream wanderers, know the dream, awake from the dream.